What's going on, America? What's going on, Facebook? What's going on the whole globe? Because I see people watching me from other countries, so I don't want to just limit my welcome to just the U.S. We done went international, y'all. Yeah, man. So please hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. If this is your first time watching Kev's Corner, I'm Kevin from Kev's Corner. That's right, I'm your host. Now, if you could do me a favor, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you are subscribed, check and make sure you're still subscribed. Okay. If you're subscribed and you've been watching the channel for a long time, check your notification buttons. Make sure they're turned on to all because, it's a racket. In fact, it probably ties into what we're going to be talking about tonight because there are very powerful forces that don't want our message being shared. They don't even want us to have fun, y'all. They don't want us to get together, talk a little bit about politics and, joke about it a bit and make it fun, palatable, entertaining, but knowledgeable. They don't even want that. They don't want that. So they do things like, not send out any notifications and stuff like that. Now, somebody said, let's talk about Fat Fanny. Now, I would like to. Now, today I was out and I was listening to the trial, but I didn't get all of the information that I want. Any updates? Because I never finished it. I never saw the conclusion. I think it's going for 2 days. Yeah, and if I'm listening correctly, I only had about 45 minutes to listen to it. And Nathan is definitely lying. Okay, I just want to say that right now. That man is lying. And we stopped having intercourse, but we still friends with benefits. Man, who he think he fooling? I bet you if all the real brothers was watching that, I'd be like, dude, man, come on, man. Dude, guys and girls, most of the time after it's over, don't just be friends, all buddy hanging out without overcrossing some lines or something. So I think that he is definitely lying. I didn't get a chance to see all of it, and I'm sure after I get off here, before I start prepping for tomorrow's show, there'll be some information that starts to filter in so I can get some highlights, put my thoughts together. Because see, when I present the information, when I like to cover it, I want it to be, a story that I can tell, like tonight. We're going to be going through a systematic story so we can see the bigger picture. All right. Yeah. And have fun while doing it. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get loose so I can get busy. Yeah. Like a what? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, guys, don't forget, check out my corner store. You can purchase some merchandise. Let me know if you purchase something and how you like it. Also, this number 330-974-4607. If you would text MAGA to that number, just in case, like what I was talking about, they don't want us to be friends no more. We have another way around that. All right. And then finally, I think my fundraiser link is about to expire maybe in a week or so. So if you're someone who wants to support the channel that way, feel free to contribute to my monthly fundraiser. It definitely helps offset the censorship, the suppression of my videos, all that stuff. I really appreciate everything that you guys give, including your time, your love, your, positive comments, you name it. I love it. All right. So now let's go ahead and get into this tonight because, see, guys, we got some problems, man, in this country. People think we're running around fighting against liberalism. They think, perhaps we might be in a cultural battle and all of that stuff. No, we're really fighting against the government. We're fighting against the deep state. We're fighting against evil politicians and globalists who have united, and they create all this other stuff to distract us, to divide us, all of that. And the folks that are bubbleheads, they don't realize it. They're fighting the wrong enemy. That's what they're doing. They're running around fighting the wrong enemy while the real enemy is using them as, pawns in this big chess match. We're sitting here saying we got to get them while these folks are jumping us from behind. We sitting there like we need to go after the establishment because they're the ones, like my little analogy about my dog Shakespeare with the light, the little red light, the beam, that I made him chase until he almost died. When, he couldn't walk no more. He was still looking at that bad boy like, oh, if I could, I might crawl over and try to catch you. He never learned that I was the person with the little beam. Yeah, he wanted to chase that beam and never stopped to say, who's behind this? Who's behind this? Never stopped. All the other dogs, like, that is him. He's manipulating you. These folks are out here attacking the right, thinking they're fighting for racism and stuff. We're fighting against it, thinking they're fighting for women's rights and all of that, for trans rights. All of that stuff is a whole bunch of gobbledygook that these people have made up and encouraged out there. And somebody said Shakespeare was a sucker. He was. Yeah, but they have made this stuff up and they've encouraged it into the community for the radicals, so the radicals can be attacking us from the back over stupid stuff. While we're saying, if y'all would ever see who's the real enemy and we unite, do you understand? We could get our country back. We could save our country from going into globalism. We can save ourselves from getting spied on. We can save ourselves from wondering if our elections are free and fair. We can take back the power, but we got half the folks that don't realize they ain't got the power. And here they are talking about we're fighting for our democracy and all that stuff. So now, tonight, we're going to reveal some things. This might be new to some, but most likely familiar to most, or at least a gut feeling about some things that we've been seeing for the last, 6 to 8 years? Easily, because they started this mess before Trump even, was sworn in. Some things that we all been going, man, I don't know about that. That smells kind of funny. I smell shite. Whereas all of the bubbleheads bought right into the shite. They went and took a bite out of that shite sandwich so quick. They just stuck it out there. You want a shite sandwich? Yes. Took a bite out of it. Well, we're going to don't eat that. How about you open the bread and see what's in it first? You didn't even look. Just took a bite. So we're going to revisit this whole bootleg Russia collusion narrative. Now, we know some simple facts, like one of the people we're going to be checking out, like Hillary Clinton's involvement. If you don't know, we'll maybe mention it. But there's some other people that we kind of had a gut feeling was involved. But now some new evidence have come out. So we're going to go ahead and start the show off, and hopefully we can paint a very clear picture of what's going on. And then I'll give you my opinion, my theory as we go. Starting off with who?
Just
Wait a minute. Not that.
Says
Go back. Yeah, Gorilla's in here. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm mixing. Gorilla's in. Gorilla's in here. Sometime I get to slip on a finger, and then next you know I end up halfway down the dang on.
Putin is trying to bait the trap.
There we go. Y'all know who that is, right? That is none other than Nasty Pelosi. Notice what she did. See, there's a thing that goes around whenever you're in trouble or whenever you need to come up with some fake behind narrative. Why come out and tell the truth? No, that's not us, because I'm nasty. Yes, I use my mush mouth for lies. Absolutely. So Putin is trying to bait the trap. That's what she's doing. She's using her mush mouth for lies. Now, if you're going to be a good propagandist and a good Marxist, you got to create a strong man. You got to create a fall guy, a boogeyman, somebody who can, just take on all of the blame for everything. And they done developed two. One is Putin, and the other one is Donald Trump. So now, Nasty Pelosi was up there trying to tell us during this time, understand, it's all going to make sense in a minute. She was up there during this time trying to tell us Putin is trying to bait the trap in regards to the war in Ukraine, all of those gas prices that shot up, all of the stuff that we saw as a result of America supporting Ukraine going to war, jumping on board with it. And then we see the effects start to manifest itself in the U.S. And what they had the nerve to do is blame Putin for it. Trying to get us to get mad at high inflation, high gas prices, high food prices, and blame it on who? Putin. So they wanted to deflect the blame onto Putin. It don't even matter what it is. It could be Trump, Putin. It could be gas prices, Putin. It could be climate change, Putin. It could be them farting. Who made that fart? Putin. No, I wasn't Putin. It's Putin. Putin farted. See, these folks are Putinologists.
Is trying to bait the trap.
Boy, I wish that was a tiger on top of her head. Something with a little more energy. Wasn't hitting it hard enough. So here she is talking about Putin is trying to bait the trap.
And it's a diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear.
Oh, now it's all coming clear. Nancy Pelosi done revealed it, maybe by accident. Yeah, when she was on the bubble, she tried to come out and say, they're attacking us, and here's the tactic that they're using. But indirectly, what she did is explain the tactic that we just saw. Putin is trying to bait the trap. Was it Putin? I don't know about that. Could it be that you're trying to use the same wrap-up smear that you claim they were trying to use on you?
If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest.
You see those little monkey paws going, you hear that mush mouth line?
Wait, now let me tell you. It's called a wrap-up smear. Yes, I'm a wrap-upologist. That's what I am. Now, don't forget when I used that same wrap-up smear for those people who allowed me to come in and get my hair did. That's right. Yes. And when they brought it to everyone's attention, what did I do? I demonized them. Absolutely. Me apologize? No. They owe me an apology because I was set up.
There it is. The wrap-up smear. I'm going to go ahead and say, no, wasn't me. No, actually, it's the people that called me out. They're guilty of what I'm guilty of. Now, we all know this as projection. They do this constantly. They come out and say, you know what? These people want an open border. These people don't want to support the police. These people are spying and abusing the government and abusing the justice system. They always say these people are doing exactly what they're doing. Now, a misinformed person or ignorant person completely would never realize this tactic. They fall for it every time. Every single time. They fall for the banana in the tailpipe. But to us, we see it clearly all day long, coming from the Democrats and the fake news. So here she is explaining the tactic very clear. Putin is trying to bait the trap. Now she's explaining the tactic, and then from this point, we can apply this tactic throughout the rest of the show.
And then you merchandise it. And then you write it. And they'll say, see, it's reported in the press.
There you go. Thank you, Nasty, for informing us of your dirty, stinking tactics that we see every day. So smear your opponent, then send it to the press, and then they support it because they're part of your party or the globalist agenda. And then what they do is come out and legitimize it, at least appear to legitimize it. That's what it is. There's a report out there, sources and methods. Who are those sources? Adam Schiff? Who are the sources?
Hello, you know who this is. I can't say my name over the phone, but just call me Nasty. Now,
yeah, who are those sources? Then all of a sudden you're seeing it on the news and everything. And then they come back out to the microphone and say, did you hear on the news today? See, this is the style that they have. Let's see.
That this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear. And then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic.
It's a tactic. It's used constantly by them. But I did have to slide in this little piece right here with Nasty. It backfired on her, y'all. She's getting harassed as she talking about
Putin is trying to bait the trap.
Now all of a sudden some of these angry radical protesters that they done empowered, emboldened, supported, encouraged, showed up somehow. Look at Nancy trying to run.
Call us Russian apologists or Chinese apologists.
She's like, what? You want some of me? Man, I gotta give it to Nancy Pelosi. She's a tough little bird, man. She up here walking and she just couldn't take it. The trash talk was too much, man. She like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this stand. These people are beneath me. Why would I run from them? Boy, that's the first time I've ever seen her use that monkey paw in action. You see it out there right now? You see that monkey paw hanging out there like this? She straight up was like, see, this is showing how she really feels about the people. Watch this. Let's see the monkey paw come out of here. Here it comes. Here it comes. Shoo, you peasants, you varmints. Yeah, man, she used that monkey paw like, get up off of me. You ain't gonna come in here trying to tell nasty how to be nasty, okay? I'm as nasty as they come, all right? I'm the nastiest. Dang on it. So, yeah, now she's getting harassed. But anyway, let's get to her twin sister in evil. Those two are very, very neck and neck when it comes down to evil. Okay. But I don't know. I think honestly, this woman mixed with the personality annoys me more than Nasty. Nasty might be as evil as her, but it's something about her evilness that is so, and I'm talking about Crooked. Yeah. One of the main players in this whole corruption, Russia collusion garbage. Let's hear what she had to say recently about Tucker Carlson talking to who? Putin is trying to bait the trap.
I mean, he's like a puppy dog. You know, he somehow has, after having been fired from so many outlets in the United States, I would not be surprised if he emerges with a contract with outlet because he is a useful...
With a Russian outlet? And she's talking about because he is a useful idiot. Yeah, she's not referring to all of the voters that vote for Democrats, all of the radical folks that we just saw harassing Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. So now all of a sudden it's not convenient to have them out there. Remember this one, y'all? Y'all forgot about this one?
You know what? I don't know why there isn't protests popping up all over the country. And who knows, maybe there will be.
Yeah. Why ain't she stopping and encouraging those protesters? That's what I'm talking about. I need some of all of these protesters popping up where I'm at, harassing me. Yeah, talking about, don't be calling us a Russian apologist. So now here she is talking about Tucker Carlson, and she's trying to do what? Smear him. There it is. Trying to use the smear tactic, and then the media gives her the outlet to come out and do it. So she's now saying, you know what, he's a Putin puppet, he's a useful idiot, and all of this stuff. Because she knows that Putin knows that she's the real Russian collusioner. See, I'm not saying Putin's a great guy or anything, but it's sad to say this, but I believe Putin over her. Over her. He seems to be a little more sincere about some topics that we've observed with our eyes that gives me evidence to say what he might be saying is true, not based on my feelings or whatever, but based on what I've been seeing come out of our raggedy politicians the last 8 years. What I've seen out of them does not point back to Putin. It doesn't point back to Russia, the Kremlin. It points right to this dirt bag right here. So let's go ahead and listen to these lies.
Idiot. He says things that are not true. He parrots Vladimir Putin's pack of lies about...
It's unreal. The woman who paid for the Russia collusion document, the dossier, dropped a whole bunch of chips on it. Shoot, I could have wrote up some lies if that's all you needed. Dang, Trump was, let me see. There was some kids on the beach. They were making a sandcastle, and Trump, with his evilness, walked up and destroyed the sandcastle right when it was about to put the little thing on the top. Knocked it all over, stepped on it, said, if Trump can't build it, no one can. You're fired. And walked off. There you go. How do you like that? Print it. I could have did that for about $12 million. But she goes and pays for those lies and still have not been accountable for them. Still has not even answered for them. No, I don't even recall anybody asking her a question, a legitimate network asking her a question. One, she don't go on any network that might ask her that. Two, if she's out in a public appearance, doing a public speech or something like that, and somebody jump up, hey, Hillary Clinton, what about the Russia collusion? Didn't you pay for the dossier? They get him out of here. She hits him with the nasty Pelosi. Get him out of here. Don't want to hear that. I don't want anybody to stick that doo-doo pie I laid in my face. Don't rub my nose in that mess. Okay, so now here she's out projecting Yeah, going ahead and trying to demonize Tucker and say that he might be working for Putin, I guess.
About Ukraine. So I don't see why Putin wouldn't give him an interview, because through him, he can, continue to lie about what his, objectives are in Ukraine and what he expects to see happen.
You mean like the lies you told about Donald Trump being a Russian agent? Huh? What about the lies about him getting peed on? I mean, I'm just wondering. All the lies you were responsible for. This chick, man, yeah, she might be the number one. She is the evil queen. I mean, Nasty is a tight second, but boy, this woman's evil. Not only that, Nasty ain't got all the mysterious deaths attached to her either. Yeah, all she got is Paul getting beat up in the middle of the night. That's what it was. That's all, you know what I'm saying? Open that door. Hey, what's going on in here, guys? Nothing. Nothing? Nothing. Wait a minute, why's he got that hammer up? Put that hammer down. You want me to put the hammer down? You want me to beat? That's the only real casualty we know of connected to Nancy Pelosi. But boy, there's a whole heap of folks just dropping dead from, what is it, sudden death syndrome. There it is. There it is. Thank you, Pfizer and all of the other rest of the fake people that's trying to make excuses for folks. Yeah, it's new. Y'all didn't hear about that? Yeah. So now I guess all these people attached to her, their heart just couldn't bear it. Sudden death syndrome got to them. So now let's finish hearing her try to use the wrap-up smear.
You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear.
Thank you, Nancy.
It's really quite sad that not just somebody like Tucker Carlson, who has, as I said, been fired so many times because he seems unable to correlate his reporting with the truth.
Now, that's crazy. Tucker Carlson been fired so many times because he can't seem to correlate his reporting with the truth. Now, could it be that he got fired? Thank you so much. Yeah, it must be a spring about to start. But yeah, she's talking about Tucker has been getting fired because he ain't reporting the truth. Or could it be that he's been fired because he's reporting the truth? That's what I want to know. Not to mention, Tucker is rich. Tucker done broke away from the established media, the ones that at the end of the day is always going to side with powerful globalists, powerful companies, people who pay their bills through advertisement. That stuff, unfortunately, they might try to say, we're going to give you a lot of rope, but hey, if they start coming down on us, we're going to have to come down on you. So there's a limit on how much truth you can spit. So now Tucker goes out and spits a little too much truth, and they had to let him go. That's too much truth. So she's trying to say Tucker has been fired. But see, I'm wondering how she can say that when she's been fired by the American people twice. Went to war with Barack, took it to the chin. Came back for round 2 to Trump, took it to the chin. And she's talking about people getting fired. I don't see her having no job. Yeah, where'd she go? Where'd she get up in the morning and go to? The evil castle. Let's continue.
You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear.
Yeah.
But also because it's a sign that there are people in this country right now who are like a fifth column for Vladimir Putin. And why? I don't know.
Yeah, because of you. You hear this chick talk about there's a sign. So now what she's trying to do is deflect from the interview that Tucker had with Putin. Because let's be honest, Putin knows how corrupt America is right now. He knows it. That's why they tried to say that Trump was, loving a dictator, because he used Vladimir Putin as an example of how even our evil, real dictators in other countries are able to see what our foul, funky Marxist, tyrannical Democrat Party and deep state is doing in this country, while still running around saying that they're fighting for democracy, not only here, using lies to implement tyranny here, but supporting a little tyrant over there in Ukraine and using the same excuse. We're fighting for democracy. Both of these countries are trying to implement tyranny. And yet these same people were fighting for democracy. So Putin is able to see it. And the sad part is all of these Americans are able to see it too. It's not that we love Putin. It's not that we support Putin. It's just that these folks have lied so much and been caught so much that what Putin might be saying makes sense. When you lie on him so much, remember, this is the same guy they said colluded with Donald Trump. But now she wants us to trust her. She's shocked why people are starting to say, is Russia that bad? Are they really trying to blow us up off the map? These are the same people who's out here telling people if Putin wins in Ukraine, he's going to go ahead and take over the whole European nation. And he might take over the whole globe. And I saw in the interview, he was like, that's crazy. You know what? I mean, the lies are magnanimous. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? But these are the fear tactics and now smear campaigns that they use. And it wouldn't be so bad if they were just being used on Putin. But when I see them use these same smear tactics on Trump, on us, you remember Hillary?
You know, I mean, half of the Trump supporters can be thrown in a basket of deplorables, and the rest are rapists. I mean, not rapists, but white nationalists and all that stuff. They use the same smear tactics on their own people and on their own candidates. And she wants us to say, well, Putin is way more evil than you, Hillary. I don't know. They might have the same body count. Honestly, Putin might be like, yes, Hillary Clinton, she's 5 up on me. I have to kill her more just to catch up. Unreal. Let's continue.
Putin is trying to bait the trap. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear.
Tell us, Nance.
I mean, why are certain Republicans throwing their lot in? Why are, other Americans basically believing Putin?
Because of you. You helped us sit back and say, wait, let's not be so hasty. Let's not be so hasty. Let's listen to what he got to say. Did he really want to go to war with Ukraine? Does he not want to negotiate peace? Who's really egging this on? Who's the real instigators here? Did he really collude with Donald? He didn't? Wait a minute. So where do we get that from? You know what I mean? I must have heard it from somebody. The Democrats. I must have heard it from somebody. I know I heard something about Putin. The fake news? That's where it is. So, hey, fake news, here's a dossier. Let me give it to y'all. Then y'all come out with it. And then we use it as a predicate to say, look, Trump is colluding with Russia. It's the wrap-up smear, like Nasty Pelosi was saying. The wrap-up smear. But some people aren't falling for it. And these are the Republicans that they're talking about. The ones who are calling out the real insurrectionists and the deep state behind all of this garbage.
I want us to ask you all questions on whether or not you think that we should be charging someone like Hillary Clinton with insurrection.
Yes! And treason. I mean, I could throw a whole bunch of stuff on that. Honestly, I think if somebody starts snooping around, Epstein, some other folks mysteriously disappeared or maybe even got mugged, but nobody stole nothing from them. You know what I'm saying? Left people laying out there with their watch and all the money in their pocket, all that stuff, credit cards. Yeah, man, let's just smoke this dude, but not rob him. Not rob him, though. Yeah, so stuff like that. That's what I'm saying, stuff like that. But yet, I will still take it. So now, here she is. She said, yeah, let's charge her with insurrection and treason.
Someone like Stacey Abrams with insurrection, because they all claim that they won elections. We know that Hillary Clinton was full of it. We know that because we saw what come out. In fact, you guys know that I all censored Adam Schiff over it.
Who?
There was no evidence of Russia collusion.
You little pencil neck.
So
I will never get tired of hearing that. You little pencil neck. Yeah. So wait, these are two of the biggest actors when it came down to what? Russia collusion. Hillary Clinton, Adam Schiff. Get out there, use the Mockingbird media to push the narrative. I mean, you heard it in your own reporting. And there's a report in the New York Times that all said that Donald Trump Jr. was talking to all of these little things that kept popping up all over the place. Somehow, I'm thinking, how'd the news get that leak? Guess who was giving it to him? Pencil neck, watermelon-shaped face, bug-eyed Schiff. Soon as they would get out of the intel meetings, Schiff with his pencil neck trying to balance that watermelon on top of it would run over to the telephone. Doot, 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 doot.
Hello, is this fake news? Yeah. All right, here's the narrative I need you to put out. What you're wondering how it's going to look if I haven't even, concluded the meeting and you already got the information? So you're telling me it will look obvious that I'm the one that came out and gave you all the information? Well, can you hold on for about 20 minutes? I'm going to wrap it up and then you can go ahead and report it? Okay. All right. Thank you, fake news. Thank you very much.
That's what happens. That dude was running out.
I got to go pee.
Running out. Hello.
Yeah, all right. Here's what we're talking about.
And then all of a sudden you see it all on CNN, see it all on MSNBC. And they push that garbage straight down the throats of Americans for like 2.5. And it's sad to say this, but now, y'all, they still pushing this trash. And we about to find out perhaps the bottom of it.
Close with saying this. What we've seen happen over the last couple of years has not only been depressing as a member of Congress to witness how much people up here have actually used that lie, used that narrative, not just to smear President Trump, but to tear apart this country.
You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear.
Thank you. Thank you. See, I'm so glad these Republicans have said enough is enough. We're sick and tired of these Democrats still getting out there saying Trump won because of Russia interference and collusion with Putin. Trump was an insurrectionist. All of these lies have been tolerated and not really aggressively confronted by the party that should be supporting the president, who knows these are all lies, who knows that
Nancy Pelosi and all of them are using the wrap-up smear.
Yeah, they're using that. So now we got some real MAGA folks that are coming out saying, we sick of this. In fact, we see some other people behind all of this garbage as well, not just the Democrats.
But I do applaud what Representative Gates has done. And what I will say is that those sociopaths that continue to push this lie, once we have this on the floor, if you continue to push this, you guys are all going to be guilty of breaching House privileges, okay? Because we're saying that it didn't happen. We have evidence to back it up. So just think on that for a little bit.
Yeah, but see, when you're doing a wrap-up smear, you don't need evidence. See, that's the whole point. It's a smear. That's why Pencil Neck has not come out yet and produced that evidence in plain sight. Because he's using the wrap-up smear. It's let me keep throwing out all kind of smears to the media, let them peddle it all over the place, and then bring me on the show to back it up so we can circulate the lies. Circulate the lies. We got to re-emphasize the lies to really brainwash, brainwash our viewers, brainwash our voters. We got to keep dropping it out there. Russia, Kremlin, Russia, collusion, Russia, Trump, Russia. Same thing with Trump on other stuff. Insurrection, Hitler, Mussolini, Hitler. I bet you their viewers be at night sleeping and seeing and hearing that in their sleep. Hitler, Mussolini, Russia. Because that's all they get. And it's coming out of that party and also another group of people that we don't see. See, we see the raggedy Democrats, and it's obvious that they're evil. But we know that the intel community is behind it all. We know that they're the evilists. Because, see, even the evilest politicians are still controlled by the deep state and probably some globalists. Because you can't become an evil politician and have a squeaky clean background. And when you give power to some people to be able to look into your background and to spy on you like they try to do Trump. Yeah, when they can see where you at, they can listen to you, monitor you. They got relationships all over the world. They might send a nice tenderoni up to Wild Bill, knowing his temptation. Cigars and tenderonis. Is that a small tenderoni coming my way? Hey, Epstein. How old is this sweet thing right here? Yeah, too much for Bill the Bear. Yeah, couldn't walk away. So now all of a sudden, you got somebody said, you keep freezing, but sounds okay? Okay, hey, wait a minute. I just realized something. Let's see. I'll make sure I ain't forget my thought too. Let's see if I can watch myself. See if I'm freezing. Am I still freezing? I'm okay now? Okay. All right, let's continue. So when you're the intel community and you're able to put together a portfolio of all of these politicians who are greedy, who are evil, yeah, at that point, you're greater than them. But when Trump came along, they didn't have that evidence. They had to create it. And that's where the problem lied. They had an uncontrollable politician who the people loved, who they underestimated, didn't think he was going to win. He won, but he owed nobody anything. He knew about the game and the system, but he never was a part of it. So now you got a rogue president in their eyes. To us, it's a legitimate president. But to them, he's a rogue president because he can't be controlled. Not to mention all the threats, all the attacks. He could have submitted. He could have just said, all right, enough is enough, man. I'll play ball. All right, what policies y'all want me to push? What y'all want me to do? What countries you want us to invade? He would not submit, even throughout all of these obvious attacks by the FBI, the DOJ, the Democrats, all of that stuff. Still wouldn't submit. Still wouldn't submit. Would attack them. Would fight back. Would call them out. All of that. So they are like, man, this dude's a problem for us. You think slimy, weak, jelly-back Biden is going to stand up to us when this dude got dirt all across the globe? No. You think the funky, nasty Clintons are going to stand up to us when we got Jeffrey the Epstein with a big fat picture with Bill Clinton in a blue dress? You think they're going to say something to us? No. We're totally uncontrollable until Trump came along and created a problem for a whole bunch of people. So now Jesse Waters done got hold to some new information that might let us know some things why they all scared that Trump might win again. Remember a couple months back, all we kept hearing is Trump is going to get in and go after his political opponents. They all seem scared for some reason. They tried to hide it and make it seem like Trump's going to go after anybody who disagrees with him. That means, regular citizens that might just be crazy, loony leftists. Nope. I believe they were talking about themselves. I believe people like Milli Vanilli, people like that, people like Nasty Pelosi, Brennan Clapper, all of these folks, because listen to this report. You will see what I'm talking about.
New details about how Obama's CIA targeted Trump. And
now that's the big fish. Now see, we already know that Hillary Clinton was involved in that garbage. We have a report that says Obama knew about it. Biden knew about it. The same folks who, for some reason, are being held accountable for their involvement in helping propagate that whole Russia collusion attack on Trump. Yeah, nobody ever sticks a mic in their face and say, you know what? Is it true that Hillary Clinton brought the whole idea to smear Trump about Russia to, I think it was Brennan, it might have been Clapper, one of those two. They're both evil. And then they came to y'all and informed you about it, and y'all had a meeting, sat around talking about how you can actually do it. Is that true, Obama? They don't ask him that. I mean, this man right here walks around and nobody asks him any questions about that. Nobody asks him, you know what? Isn't it ironic that your FBI started listening to Donald Trump, before, he was even out of office and all of these things. And, they did this in the Mueller report, shows that these folks were violating all kind of stuff. And it was under your watch. Do you feel responsible for that? I mean, are you disconnecting yourself from what they did? Are you condemning what they did? Are you mad about these folks using flimsy information to go after Donald Trump, knowing that this crap was not corroborated? Are you mad about that? Because that was under you. They don't even ask him these questions. So my thought is, if Trump gets back in and he has all this information we're about to hear, those are the big fish. People like that, they're sitting back going, listen, we gotta invade Mar-a-Lago and get any of the classified information that he took that might reveal who's really behind the curtain. Interesting.
started the entire Russia hoax. For years, we were told that tips from an Australian diplomat tipped off the FBI after a random conversation with Papadopoulos?
There you go. How probable is that? It can happen. It can happen. Here you are down in Austria. Hello, Mike. Where are you from? I'm from America. Okay. And then start talking to him. Out of all the people in the world, you bump into George Snuffleupagus, and you happen to be a diplomat, and you just start chit-chatting with him, and he says something that makes you go, I better go and tell the FBI about this. Do you think that happened? We're going to find out what really happened.
A no-name 20-something? But according to new reporting by Michael Schellenberger and Matt Taibbi, the whole thing was a CIA setup.
There you go. Having other countries use their assets to bump into Trump supporters. Yeah, just randomly. Is that him right there? Is that Snuffleupagus? Okay, I'm going over. Hello, Mike. Hey, where'd you come from? Oh, I was just getting a drink right here. Yeah, where you from? Things like that. Where you going? Yeah, it's funny that I bumped into this guy. And it wasn't just Papadopoulos. They were using assets from all over the place to bump into Trump supporters so that they can open up fake bull crap investigations into these people, hoping that they can bunny hop over them and start listening to Trump. You see how it's now all coming together? How it's all working? Now, in this whole report right here, notice what you don't hear. I'm going to quiz you after y'all hear this. Is there something that's missing as this report goes on? Something that's not mentioned. All right, so let's continue hearing about this whole Russia Spygate.
Former CIA Director John Brennan identified 26 Trump associates to be targeted by the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, and then those interactions were the targets and were targeted by the FBI as suspicious. And
there you go. Now listen to this. Ooh, you see the plot thicken. Now you see how all the sausage is being made. So let me get it straight. I'm James Comey, and I see a presidential candidate that is right in the height of competing, and I get some report come in from some of my lower level agents. Hey, I got this tip, Comey, from this guy from Russia. He said he talked to George Papadopoulos, and he was a little concerned that Trump might be colluding with Russia. And you're telling me James Comey said, well, follow the tip. Now, if it was real, if this was true, if we had a real legitimate FBI director that was not compromised and was not involved in this, he would have said, if you don't get out of my office, do you realize that we're in the middle of a political campaign and you're bringing me a tip? Does George Papadopoulos meet with Trump? Well, no. Does he even talk to Trump? No. Then what the heck are you doing? But Comey let it go. He let it go because they all put that thing together. So now let's continue hearing more about this, Jesse.
And that's how the FBI launched the Russia collusion hoax.
Are you worried that Putin could be attempting, and the Kremlin could be attempting to intervene in our election in 2024? And should we all be spending more time talking about that?
Putin is trying to bait the trap.
No, I'm not worried about that, Raggedy Patty. I'm worried about the man sitting right next to you, interfering in this upcoming election, like he did the first one. Tried to do the second one and still trying to do. Still using the same tired lines. Baby, you know what? You must be tired. What? Yeah, because you've been running through my head all day. You said that 5 minutes ago, I went to the bathroom, came back, you didn't recognize who I was, you thought I was somebody else, and you just repeated the same thing. Oh, I did? Oh, my fault. Turn right to her friend. Hey, how you doing? Girl, you must be tired. Same lines. Repeating the same crap. Putin again. Russia again. And guess who else is helping out? The Mockingbird media. You see that Mockingbird right there sitting next to him? Mockingbird. The Mockingbird right there drops it out there. Do you think we should be paying more attention into this Putin thing? Shit. Trying to get the people's mind to shift back to believe some more garbage about who? Russia. When in doubt. And yet they want us to trust them over Putin. They want us to trust the people who brought this liar and this leaker back onto this program. And they want us to believe them over Putin. I'm sorry. I would take Putin's word before I would take Schiff's word or Raggedy Patty's word. Let's continue.
I am very concerned about it. It wouldn't be the first time that Russia's intervened in our election.
No.
It wouldn't be the first time they've done it to try to help elect Donald Trump.
That guy has been the biggest interference in our election. This is fascinating to watch. It's like we're watching a movie, and these are bad actors, and we're going, wow, that actor's horrible. I mean, that guy's not selling at all. Yeah. So now here he is running the same stuff back. He don't even care that he's been busted lying. He don't even care that everybody knows he got out there talking about some evidence in plain sight. And right now, he's saying the same crap and never produced the evidence from the first lies. Now, isn't that fascinating that Raggedy Patty's not curious about that? Isn't it fascinating? She went ahead and led in on Russia to give him a segue in to dropping some more smears about Russia interference.
You little pencil neck. The details of this entire operation have been stored in a top secret binder in a secret room in Washington. Trump ordered the whole thing declassified, and now the rumor is that the binder might be missing.
Oh. Now, I was wondering, what was so interesting about all these classified documents in Mar-a-Lago that they just felt they could not wait any longer? Can't wait, man. We need them today. Well, why? Oh, because it could be some stuff for the presidential archives. They want to, like create a scrapbook and stuff for you. Well, can't that wait? Huh? Normally it could. But there's something else amongst those scrapbook clips. We need that one folder you got. Which one? The one? You mean the one? Which one you talking about? Huh? Well, you tell me which one. Yeah, see, they know Trump. When he left that White House, he probably took a whole heap of stuff that might just be mentioning things about what they did to go after him. And out of nowhere, they feel right now, we got to go ahead and invade Mar-a-Lago and search places where I'm thinking, you think documents are in my wife's closet, in her underwear, Barron's room? What's the meaning of this? What are you really looking for? Why are you so panicked? Why couldn't y'all wait? They're looking in places where they think that if I'm someone who might have something to destroy them or expose them, and know that, wow, if they ever come in my crib, they're going to look in these places. So what I need to do is remove it from these places and hide it somewhere, like maybe perhaps in my wife's underwear drawer. They would never look there. So these folks were thinking outside the box because apparently they didn't find what they needed inside of the other locations. Man, see? Now, this is just my working theory. But I think I might be onto something. Let's continue.
Well, explain how this all started with the CIA picking these 26 Trump people.
Well, obviously, this is an extremely serious story and serious allegation by multiple credible sources.
And I'm sure the news is all over it. I'm sure MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, you know what? I want to come out and apologize because that nose crooked. Yeah, I want to apologize. Because I pushed the Russia collusion, and there's a price to pay. There's a price to pay for our network. She was the main one. So she should be coming out going, what? It wasn't Putin? That was a smear on Putin? You're telling me it was our own CIA? You're telling me it was the same two bums that we keep bringing on our networks? Brennan, Clapper, all of them. You're telling me that? Well, they knew it was. See, because it was the wrap-up smear. These agencies were sending them the information. These agencies were like, we need you to push the Russia collusion. Just like they're about to send out another Mockingbird media personality to do what? Cover up this story. Let's continue. What the? Darn it, I did it again. That's her. That's actually her. All right, here we go. Let's go back. Here we go. All right, here we go.
About this, our sources tell us a very different
Here we go.
Investigation of how the Russia collusion hoax began. The story, as you mentioned, was that, we were just informed by foreign intelligence about this. Our sources tell us a very different story, which is that This was initiated by the U.S. government. It came from within the U.S. government's intelligence community, including the CIA.
Why are, other Americans basically believing Putin?
That they asked
because of this? Yeah, that's the answer to your question, Crooked. See, because you know what I'm not hearing? As this man is up here telling us this, I'm not hearing Russia. I'm not hearing Putin. I'm only hearing CIA. Where do they operate in America? Oh, that's one of us. That's our own intel community betraying our country and our voters. You mean to tell me it wasn't the Kremlin interfering in our elections? It was people like Hillary Clinton, Adam Schiff, and the intel community. The ones that the same media get mad when you talk about abolishing them, defunding them, tearing it all down and scrapping it. Yeah, Trump's going to get in and go after the fine men and women in the FBI and granted, like I said, they do good work, but that ain't by the bad people though. See, they leave all the evil stuff to the ones that's right up at the top. Then they try to go ahead and balance it out with the good men and women on a lower level who's doing the real grunt work, but they got just enough fake folks and evil folks to implement these type of tactics. So let me understand. They went and reached out to all these other European English speaking countries and said, listen, what we need y'all to do is help us out. Australia, England, all of these places, Germany, probably France. We need y'all to put these people on your list, and we need y'all to send somebody to bump into them. So now they done drug in all these other countries. No wonder they all hated Trump. But would smile in his face and try to get photo ops every time he would go overseas, fighting to get next to him. Macron, yes, Trump is my friend. I love Donald Trump. Make sure you get the picture. I love him. Look, even though I am built low to the ground for traction, and he is so tall, he can barely see me. I put his elbow on my head doing the picture. All of that mess. But he fought through about 50 people to get over there next to him. Yeah, so these people had their little hand in it too. But hey, I'm not even blaming them. I'm going straight back to our own agencies. And they're talking about, you know what, we should get rid of the FBI and the CIA immediately.
Of Five Eyes nations intelligence agencies, that's the other English-speaking nations, including Britain and Australia, to spy on 26 Trump associates, or at least they had a list of the 26 associates that were identified. This is new information. Some people have...
Did you just say Australia? Could that be how that guy accidentally bumped into George Papadopoulos? And now, you want to talk about a betrayal of your country? They were willing to destroy George Papadopoulos to get to Trump, an innocent man. They tried to destroy Paul Manafort, Michael Flynn, Carter Page, destroying lives, knowing that these are innocent people, using this garbage as a predicate to go ahead and listen to them and then start hopping over them, hoping that they could catch Trump on the phone to gather what they've been gathering on all these other evil, corrupt politicians, which is some type of information that they can use to manipulate them. They didn't come in with that info. They had to create it. They had to backdate it. They had to backdoor engineer some type of garbage that they could use to say, now, when you don't like what we're trying to do, you ain't gonna have no choice. Because we got you on the phone saying this. We got you up here doing this. We got a picture of you doing blank, blank, blank. See, they didn't have it. So now they need it. They're working hard to get it throughout Trump's presidency as they were spying on him, as they created the whole garbage. So this man is like a spy. I could write a movie off of it. This movie right here wrote itself. Yeah, let's just look at this whole show that I'm doing right now as a movie, all right? I want to go ahead and start charging $7.50 to see the movie. Okay, it's a discount. The movies cost $15 now. So let's continue as the spy movie continues.
Have theorized about this and speculated about it. We feel very confident that our sources were in a position to know and are very credible in this report. It's obviously a very serious allegation because this
and I feel confident that my sources know too, which is my common sense. Me observing what has been taking place this whole time under Russia collusion crap. Me hearing all of these fake behind people come out and take Trump out of context. All of that mess. And I'm saying, okay. Now, somebody said, oh my God, Kev. Yeah, I'm reading y'all comments. Yeah. When they first came out and said Donald Trump asked Russia rather, to help him win the election during a rally. During a rally. I said, what? See, that's where my common sense kicks in. I said, now why is the media trying to pretend dumb? Like they don't understand context. They can't put together context clues. They don't understand, the scenario where people are sitting there laughing. We're having a rally. Everybody's joking. Donald Trump's cutting on Hillary Clinton. He's talking about how corrupt and evil she is, how she's getting away with all these crimes and should be locked up. And then he makes a joke about the emails that she deleted. And instead of the media saying, yeah, she did delete those, she's pretty corrupt, she should be locked up, but she got off. Nope. They said it was obvious that Donald Trump has just asked Russia to find those 30,000 emails to assist him in winning the election. That's how much they disrespect the intelligence of their voters. That's amazing to me. And their voters bought it. Whew, boy, I'm so glad I ain't a bubblehead. Thank you, Lord.
It's illegal spying and it's illegal election interference.
So the biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
Well, there's no real evidence of that.
Of course there is. It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something? This is 60 Minutes.
So?
And we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie,
Trump was always one step ahead of him. One step ahead of him. See, these are the same people when he came out and said they wiretapped his phones. What? I can't believe he would say that. That's so stupid. Then when it came out that, they didn't wiretap it. They monitored it, surveilled it. There you go. It's different. It's a difference. These are the same people. These are the same people who are still yet to bring, and they done brought Hillary Clinton back on their shows multiple times, but still yet to bring her on the show and ask her about the revelation that she paid for that Russia collusion that they pushed. I always wait for the opening question when she shows up on the fake news. I'm like, maybe this time we'll be lucky enough to have somebody to say, I'd like to go back to whole 2016 Russia collusion thing. Nobody ever does that. And here's Leslie. No. She ain't arguing against it. She ain't got no evidence to disprove it. She think Trump is just out here winging this. Do you really believe Trump is throwing out these statements because it's just a gut feeling? The man has the goods on these people. He has them, and they know it, and they still know it right now. And I have a suspicion that that's why they're already prepping for a butt whooping by saying Trump's going to get in and go after his political enemies, and he's going to, because they know that he got the goods on him. See, so let's continue hearing her go, no.
They spied on my campaign.
Well, we can't verify
It's been totally
that.
verified.
No.
It's been, just go down and get the papers. They spied on my campaign. They got caught.
No.
And then
Man, that's one of the funniest things to me for some reason. She got the soft pass of no like a kid. No. Go to bed. No. No, it's time to go to bed. You can't fight it. You can't resist it. I'm sending you to bed. You're 5. You can't fight me. I'll grab you, drag you up the steps, and throw you in the bed. Yeah, no. You can say no all you want as I put you up under my arm while your legs are kicking from behind, taking you to the bed, talking about something. No. It's so funny. Can't come up with no evidence. Can't say, well, no, because it's just no.
They went much further than that, and they got caught. And you will see that, Leslie, and you know that, but you just don't want to put it on the air.
As a matter of fact, I don't know that.
We have it documented. We have it in texts. We have it in all sorts of forms. They knew about it. It was a terrible thing. Should have never happened and should never be allowed to happen.
We got it. We have it in text. We have it in all kind of forms. We knew about it. We got him caught. Now, why would he say this? Why would Trump come out and say, we got it? We got all this information. We got it in text. I wonder where that stuff at. Because, see, remember he said he was going to release some of it? He released some stuff, but not all of it. So where's the rest of it, y'all? That's what could it be that might have been what they were looking for when they came up with the fake excuse to raid his house in Mar-a-Lago? Let's see.
Happen again to a president. This should never happen again. This was a setup like we've never seen. I think it's the political crime of the century.
And boy, if he gets back in and somehow those documents resurface showing that Brennan, Clapper, Comey, Obama, Biden, Lynch, and the list goes on, Clinton, just go right down that list of all of these people and all of their diabolical schemes to put that mess together. Imagine what would happen to those people. Wouldn't that fall under treason? I'm just wondering. Now, if I'm prepping for a butt whooping, I might come out and say he's going to hang all of his political enemies. He's out here talking about he's going to just assassinate all of his political enemies. He's up here talking about, I might want to do a preemptive strike to start prepping the bubbleheads to think that justice might be viewed as Trump being a dictator. Now, like I said, this is just my opinion. Let's continue.
And they've been caught. So let's see what happens to them all.
They've been caught.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There has been widespread speculation that this binder was the reason or a reason for the FBI raid of Mar-a-Lago.
The plot thickens. Boy, does the plot thicken. So now it goes from we just wanted presidential records, and the lady at the archives was complaining that she didn't have all of the pictures you drew, and we liked that one speech you did. That she was complaining she needs that stuff. So we had to go ahead and break out a subpoena and go in your crib to get all that stuff. Did they ever find the nuclear codes and information that they said he was selling? Anybody? They went through all of that stuff. What kind of stuff did he have that was that important? Think about it, y'all. So now, this rumor is out there, and this guy said they're going to come out with some more information real soon. But let's go ahead and see how, and this is how you can tell if there's some truth to it. Watch what the Mockingbird media does. They're going to come out and do exactly what Nasty Pelosi said.
Discussing that tomorrow. But obviously, if this binder contains what we have been told that it contains, which may include raw intelligence, information showing that the U.S. government, the CIA and the intelligence community of the U.S. government, initiated the Russia collusion hoax, that it did not occur in the way that the official story, including the Durham investigation, had portrayed it.
It wouldn't be the first time that Russia's intervened in our election. It wouldn't be the first time they've done it to try to help elect Donald Trump.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. Because I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. If it didn't occur like Pencilneck said, like Clinton said, like all of these fake folks out there said, Clapper, Brennan, all of them, if it didn't occur like that, if Pootie was not behind it, and we come to find out without a shadow of a doubt, see, because you need proof, see, because they're masters at lying, they're masters of manipulation, they're masters at using the Mockingbird media to change the narrative, counter the narrative. See, they're masters at using psyops, false flags, deflection, all of that mess. They're masters at it, y'all. But they would have a major problem if raw material was out there that was undeniable and it proved that our own government tried to destroy Trump and destroy our democracy, as they claim. Our republic, really? If that came out, no dodging that one. No manipulating that one. See, and that right there might just be justification to do what? Charge these people with something that they can't come back from. That right there might show that, hey, when I say we need to shut down the CIA, FBI, revamp the DOJ, all of these things, when I say that, you don't come out here talking about that he's a dictator. Nope, look at this. Look at this. Huh? See, you must love what these people did if you're defending this. How would the media explain that? I would have to put an Adam Schiff, like last night, where he's talking about there's no evidence that, here's the documents. There it is. Smash that on his face and say, justify this. So, boy, they are scrambling, y'all.
then that's extremely serious information. And it may be, if the FBI then went to go get it in order to continue the cover up of this information, that obviously adds an even more dramatic wrinkle to this.
It does. And it might make sense that this right here seemed to be such a priority to get down there to Mar-a-Lago when Trump was willing to talk to. Hey, look, man, just tell me what you need and I'll get it to you. Okay. Well, we need it now. So we're going to go ahead and invade your crib and go through your stuff, your wife's drawers and things like that. So now it's kind of falling, in place. It's like, you know what? Yeah, they might have went in there to get those classified documents. So let's continue in our journey to get to the bottom of this.
This is a huge, huge story. I mean, I've been thinking about it in the history of the United States of America. Have we ever had something like this where the intelligence community was weaponized against a political candidate and using our foreign allies to do it? I can't think of a more important or dramatic story.
Well, the Kennedy assassination was pretty important, but people act like, and Tucker talked about that. I wonder if Hillary Clinton is like, he's lying. Yeah. So now, guys, that this story is on the horizon, go ahead, get the Mockingbird media to come out and do what? Smear. And then go ahead, use the media to try to pivot and
Why is
project.
it significant to the American people?
So this binder that was brought to the White House contained raw intelligence that the U.S. and its NATO allies collected on Russia's efforts to meddle in the 2016 election, include...
What? Y'all see that right now the CIA is like, all right, here's what you say. We're going to go ahead and use the smear campaign, the wrap-up smear. Come out and instead of saying that it was us who did this, say, no, this is raw material showing how us and all of our allies, instead of colluding to try to stop Trump and go after people in his camp, no, we were simply doing what? Going after Putin. Smearing Putin again. We were trying to stop Russia interference and collusion. This has nothing to do with us trying to come up with these lists of people for all of these other countries in NATO that we colluded with to go find them so they can bump into them and get information about Trump so they can go ahead and start spying them. It had nothing to do with that. These countries were simply helping us stop Putin. Once again, get out there, smear, and use the media to go ahead and validate it.
including sources and methods, which are some of the most...
There it is. That's one of the big ones they always use. We've seen it a million times. Go up to Congress. How many people was in that J6 crowd? Well, I got to be careful because the sources and methods I can't reveal. That's one of their number one go-tos to say, get off my back. We ain't got to tell y'all nothing. You know why? Because we operate above the law. We operate in secrecy. We own the media. We own these politicians, but not Trump. And that's why we had to raid his house to find out where's that raw material that shows that it wasn't NATO trying to stop Putin. Get out there and tell them it's the opposite of everything this story says. If the story say they colluded with us to find Trump campaign members and spy on them, say no. Say that these countries was helping us stop Putin because Putin is trying to bait the trap.
Sensitive information in the intelligence world. So what we're talking about here is the underlying intelligence that formed the basis of the U.S. government's assessment that Russian President Vladimir Putin sought to help Trump win the 2016 election. And
wow, now, do you understand how obvious this is? That the CIA has given her this narrative. Given her this narrative. Just straight say, all right, everything that these people are about to drop out there in this report, go out there and say it's the opposite. Hurry up. Go, Mockingbird. Mock. Do what you do. Mock. So her butt goes out there and says, now this is raw material. This shows and proves that Putin, once again, Putin was interfering in our election, trying to support Trump, I guess, maybe, perhaps. Now, if you believe that, I mean, they want that stuff that bad. It's obvious. If Trump had that stuff and it had nothing to do with him, he'd have gave it back. If it was really showing that Russia tried to interfere, Trump would have been like, okay, yeah, Russia was up to some stuff. Here, take it. But my gut tells me that information in that book, or rather in those documents, those files, are showing who really was behind it. Yeah, but here her job is to say, nope, it wasn't them. And then look what she also says.
The disappearance of this binder was so alarming to the intelligence officials that, according to our sources, they briefed Senate Intelligence Committee leadership about the situation last year.
It was so alarming that the intel community was like, oh, shoot, anybody got that folder? Did he take that information? Oh, man, right, look, I sent y'all over there with the black mask and the, sliding down the ropes and Tom Cruise style to get that, man. Y'all couldn't get it? Well, he woke up in the middle of the night, man. You know he only sleeps like 3 hours. Shoot. We tried, man, but he woke up, you know what, I'm going to watch the news first, then I'm going to write a letter, and then I'm going to... So we couldn't get hold to it. So now all of a sudden, that mysterious binder or these documents have gone missing. They went through everything like, all right, Mr. President, you sure you don't have anything else in this house, right? Nothing else. So they can't find it. And they're worried about this. And now it's all making sense why they're all trying to say if Trump wins, how he's going to become a dictator and go after his political enemies. Huh. Yeah, it's interesting. All makes sense why they would see that there's a sense of urgency to go ahead and get those documents. And then she finally comes out and says the obvious diversion. That's not what they were doing.
Now, we're told by one U.S. official familiar with the matter that this was not among the classified items that were found in last year's search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort, and it wasn't why the FBI searched Trump's residence.
Well, there you go. Go out and tell them that's not what we did. Before this story catches wind, go out and say, that's not what they did. They didn't go in there looking for that. Now, that is obvious. That's a kid with their hand in a candy jar. And you're going, are you trying to get some candy? Because I told you not to go in there. That's not what I was doing. That's how obvious it is that that woman's whole purpose was to come out and say, I'm going to tell you the opposite of everything the man who is doing the reporting has told y'all. No, it wasn't our intel community setting Trump up. No, it was all of these nations working hard to save our democracy and fight against Putin and his election interference. Oh, and by the way, they did not invade Trump's house to find that. No, that's not what they were looking for. They were looking for raw data that shows how much Putin tried to interfere with our elections. That's what they were doing. Kash Patel was on it when they invaded Trump's Mar-a-Lago house. This is what he had to say.
Well, the current FBI director, Chris Wray, was the FBI director when we ran the Russiagate investigation, and he had the opportunity then to expose all the corruption at the FBI, and he failed.
Why didn't he?
And he's been covering up since. Look, we said since the beginning, we got out 60% of the documents for the Russiagate investigation. 40% remain. President Trump declassified those specific documents.
And where are those 40% documents? Where are they? They disappeared. He declassified those, so why are they still looking for it? Why are they still looking for that document or those documents? So Trump go ahead and give them a warning. Now here's 60%. I'm going to keep the 40% for myself for a special day. Special occasions. There we go. Crack open a bottle of wine when I get back in the White House. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and show y'all where that 40% of classified documents that they've been looking for is. Now that's just my gut. My gut tells me that. Based on their behavior. The way they're acting is making me go, it might be something to this.
And this entire raid on his house, I believe, was to prevent the disclosure now that the government gangsters are back in charge of their corrupt activities from Russiagate on down. Because now that they have an open FBI counterintelligence investigation, they will shield any any release of documents because they will say we have an open investigation.
There it is. That's what they want. They want to get their hands on that. And our ongoing investigation sources and methods, we can't relay redactions. That's what they want. They want to be able to get their hands on that, cover that mess up, hide it, suppress it, and all of that garbage. So, guys, they're in a little bit of a pickle. And I can't wait to see how this plays out.
A lot of work to do, and I'm glad whistleblowers are coming forward. They need to be doing so in droves.
They don't care.
They don't care. Benny.
It's a suicide pact. If they can't run this country permanently, forever, with impunity, and without anyone stopping them, if they can't run it all, they'll destroy it. They'll burn it to the ground.
And we have seen that. They have attempted to do it under Trump. They were willing to destroy everything, man. They were willing to let a mysterious virus sweep our country just to stop Trump. They were willing to inject a whole bunch of citizens. They were willing to do all of this, man. They were risking us going to war with Iran. Yeah, they were supporting that mess, hoping Trump commit to that war. They were willing to risk Trump overcompensating for all the Russia lies that they were responsible for and dragging us into a skirmish with Russia. They didn't care. It's like, if we can't play with the bat and the ball, we're taking it and going home. Or we just break the bat. We don't care. That's how evil these people are. And yet here she is talking about Putin. And why are people believing Putin?
At this exact moment, Barack Obama knew what he had done. And here they are, these goblins, these slithering snakes, knowing that they had a dagger directly in the back of this man.
To follow up on what Representative Crane had stated, we have the ability and at our disposal tools to find terrorists in caves in the Middle East that you can't find someone who planted a pipe bomb. That's pretty egregious, but we have...
It is egregious. Isn't that kind of crazy? See, and this is where I'm getting back to it. Our intel communities are in on all of this. She made a good point. These are the MAGA Republicans that they also come out and say, yeah, these are ultra MAGA, these people right here are the radicals, these people this and that, because they are highlighting that it's not liberals running around the city that we're at war with. No, it's not them. And honestly, it ain't Russia. No, it ain't them. It ain't even China. It ain't even China. Because see, those countries can be controlled if we had an America First president. They can be controlled. However, the real problem is within. It is our own deep state and our corrupt politicians that they run and are in collusion with, and the fake news. That's who we're at war with. And she's about to call some stuff out.
Have evidence that the government really helped to cover up what was happening. And I will just point all of you to what happened at Oversight, where we actually questioned Twitter 1.0. We saw that under the Department of Homeland Security, CISA was actually working to not only suppress information, to include the president's statement to remain peaceful on January 6th. Remember how he said that? Yet it was nowhere on social media. It's because these outlets, whether it was Google, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they're all working to suppress that information. But I wonder...
So throw another shrimp on the Barbie, eh, mate? Another corrupt shrimp on the Barbie? So you're telling me that now big tech was also a part of this? Isn't that odd, y'all? Now, I wonder why, even though we did find out that the FBI was communicating with Twitter and all of them, Facebook and all of them, and telling them what to take down and what to put up, who was telling the truth and dis and misinformation, even though they were all in bed with them and stuff like that. I wonder why they would not put Trump's message up immediately. Just like I wonder why they would not stop the insurrection by having all these plants in the crowd that was undercover, but instead of stopping it, they kind of encouraged it. I wonder why they waited so long to respond, and get the police to come and bring in the National Guard. I wonder why they let that marinate a while. Wonder why they let it go for a long time. Get the photo ops. See, all of that stuff. I wonder why Christopher Wray still don't know how many people was in that crowd. He still don't know. These are questions I wonder. And it all seems to point back to collusion between the deep state, the Democrats, the fake news, big tech, the global alliance. That's what it all seems to. And they all fear the man that they did not want his message to go out, because guess what that would have done? If Trump would have came out immediately and said, go home, everybody. If they would have posted that immediately, how can they say then on the news that we see all the time, Trump waited. Trump waited forever. Trump took too long. Yeah, he might have came out and said something, but well, now we find out why it took so long. Because the media were going, hold, not yet. Take it down. Because we needed to look like Trump was sitting there going, you know what, is there another way this insurrection could go on? You know what, let's let it ride out for a long time. These folks are evil. Boy, they all need to be held accountable. Let's continue.
Why? I wonder why they would want to do that. And it's because this president is truly a man that is outside of the DC control. And frankly, that's why every single person, I'm pretty sure up here, has endorsed him for re-election. And he's going to win in November.
And that's why they're scared. But they're not the only ones that need to be held accountable. Tony Bobulinski done came out and spilled the beans. He blew the whistle. Blow the whistle. I go on and on. I can't understand how I last that long. Yeah, I must have superpowers. Tony Baba done came back. Now, Baba been walking around like, yeah, bob. He's been walking around for a long time saying, hey, everybody, I got a secret to tell. Oh, anybody want to know about Biden's corruption? I got all the details. But FBI, I got all the... But CNN, y'all want a real story? Don't want to see it. Like my dog Sammy used to be when I would give him a pill to take. I'd stick that pill up in his face and he'd go, just like that. I don't care if I put that pill in peanut butter, hide it in a piece of sausage. He always recognizes, like, I don't want to eat that pill. So they don't want to know about what Tony Baba got to say. Don't want to know. But Tony Baba said, you're going to find out anyway. So let's see. Here we go. Let's see.
This interview began around 10 o'clock this morning and is expected to go a few more hours. Republicans are praising Tony Bobulinski. Democrats say his credibility is non-existent.
What? He tries to link Joe Biden and the president, but then provides no evidence. What? So there's actually zero evidence in his opening statement.
Zero? Zero evidence? You think the man will come up there with no evidence? But this is how transparent and evil the Democrats are. See, this is how they just say, you know what? We're masterful liars. We're going to come out and suggest to the public that this witness who was on the inside decided, hey, you know what? I want to come and testify and tell all this stuff. Well, what do you want to tell? I don't know. I ain't really got much. I ain't got no proof about it. So how do you know this stuff? Well, I think that it might have happened. Do you really think that? See, this is how obvious. If you start looking at what they're doing in those simplistic ways, you will see that these are corrupt, evil people. It's so obvious. The corruption leaks off of this man right here. His emotions, his defense, everything about him leaks out. I am one nasty, stinking, lying, corrupt politician. Zero evidence. Let's continue, though. Standing next to another liar.
The president.
Now, Tony Bobulinski says he's uniquely qualified to talk about what he calls Joe Biden's involvement in Hunter Biden's business deals. He worked with the president's son to create a joint venture with Chinese energy company CEFC. Bobulinski says he met with Joe Biden, then a former VP, in 2017. What? He says he provided text messages that prove he met Joe Biden in May 2017, 2 times after Joe Biden left the vice presidency. Bobulinski says he
I'm no genius. I'm no genius, though. I'm not scratching my head, but that looks like evidence. Oh man, I'm just saying. That looks like evidence. Can you? It's hard to fathom how they can get in your face, man, and lie like this. Democrats. These are the same people that tell us that little boy over there with an apple stem is not a little boy. It's a little girl. Let him live his truth. These are the same people, man, that will look at millions of people coming across our border and say the border is secure. These are those people, man. It's fascinating to me. But he said no evidence. So maybe this little text message thing is not enough. Maybe we got to prove to the liar that, we got to make it undeniable.
Texted the president's brother, Jim. In this text obtained by Fox News Digital, Bobulinski texted Jim Biden, great to meet you and spend some time together. Please thank Joe for his time. It was great to talk. Thanks, Tony B.
He tries to link Joe Biden and the president, but then provides no evidence.
Yeah. Provides no evidence. Hey, Jim, it was great meeting your brother. You know what I'm saying? Sending my well wishes, but there's no evidence. None whatsoever. Now, we're going to get us a great show of how corrupt and evil and how big of a liars these Democrats are. We already know. During the impeachment of Mucus, of course, if they decide to impeach Joe, we're going to see a show, a masterclass in lying and projection, deflection, interruption, all of this stuff, drama, using racism. They're going to use everything in the book to defend evil. These people defend evil stuff, man. Let's continue though, because we got to help this dude. I mean, it ain't his fault. He can't see. He's blind. He can't see. He need to wear sunglasses like KE. He's blind. So let's see.
The investigation into Hunter Biden has broadened out into an impeachment investigation of his dad, the president. It will culminate really over the next 2 weeks, Martha. Next week, the president's brother, Jim Biden, will come and answer questions behind closed doors. Then after that, Hunter Biden at the end of the month.
And
we learned a lot, and Tony Bobulinski handled himself very well. I've never seen Democrats or anyone act worse in a deposition than they did.
I wish I could have been there, because you know they acted a fool. The objection, you know what, interrupting, attacking Bobulinski, you know. I mean, this is, they don't want to get to the bottom of this. They don't care if Joe Biden is corrupt and is crooked and is a fish hook. They don't care. They sitting there like, man, look here. We all know this man is crooked. Just like we all know he's senile, but we don't care about that stuff. All right, we're here to go down with the ship. So it would have been a show to watch, I am pretty sure. And if it goes to the public, man, you already know they're gonna come in with their clown suits on, their little horns on the shoes, music band in the background, whole band behind them. Boy, it's gonna be a clown show. However, he said that Tony Bobulinski came in and he said this. Now, you want to know why they're acting up? Because they're demons. There you go. See, yeah, you ever want to see the devil act up? You ever want to see demons start acting a fool? Yeah, shine some light on them. Start speaking some truth. Pull out a couple scriptures of truth and watch them like, I don't want to hear that, man. Yeah, they'll start acting up. So now, Bobulinski came in, dropping the truth, and they start acting up. Those demons start rising up. Let's continue.
The Democrats couldn't handle the truth, and that's what Tony Bobulinski delivered today. He delivered the truth. He talked about Joe's involvement. He talked about the numerous times he talked to Joe Biden.
Numerous?
He mentioned that Joe Biden thanked him for what he was doing with his brother and his son. So Joe Biden knew very well the role Tony Bobulinski was playing in the Biden orbit.
He tries to link Joe Biden and the president, but then provides no evidence.
I need to help this guy, man. I'm concerned about this man. I'm concerned about him. How did you get to Congress? That's what I wonder. Man, because I'm just sitting here listening to this right here, and I'm going, every single thing I'm hearing sounds like evidence. He said, not one scintilla, zero evidence. Wow. So let's keep going, because maybe we can save him. Maybe we can help him and stuff like that before the show's over.
And he talked about what CEFC was. And I think every American would be concerned if they could understand exactly what CEFC was trying to do. They were trying to implement their Belt and Road Initiative in the United States. Everything that we have.
That man seems like he knows a lot. I mean, he's a perfect witness. Now, I'm sure anybody who believes in justice would be knocking this man's door down to talk to him. He's a spotless, perfect witness. You can't get a better witness than Tony Bobulinski. He has first-hand knowledge of the money, where it was going, who was spending it, the Chinese company that he was dealing with, and their goals and objective, which is to infiltrate the United States and to also penetrate who?
Have bipartisan agreement on in Congress to prevent China from doing in the United States. CEFC was trying to acquire the services of the Bidens to be able to remove the barriers of entry into our market. So Joe Biden was working for the Chinese. He was the brand. Tony Bobulinski is the second person on record under oath to testify that Joe Biden was the brand.
And that's enough to send somebody to prison. 2 witnesses. Lock them up, lock them in. Let me begin. So we now got 2 witnesses saying that Biden was selling our country out to the Chinese. You know what that sounds like to me, y'all? Treason. There you go. Treason. So Bobulinski knows exactly the goal and agenda of the company that they were negotiating with and what they were trying to do. Get into the Biden administration to help push policies to be able to do things that all of us Americans scratch our head over. Why in the world are we selling land to China? Why are we letting them buy up and start companies here, and all these things seem strange. Always will wonder, like, why would our politicians do that? There it is.
To link Joe Biden and the president, but then provides no evidence.
Personally met with Joe Biden in Los Angeles in May of 2017 multiple times.
It's going to be hard for the little dummy to overcome that mountain of evidence. I personally met with Joe Biden. Unlike the lady who the Democrats brought in to say that Trump was in the beast judo chopping Secret Service so he can go over and support his insurrectionists, and she was not even in the vehicle. Heard it from the cook in the kitchen. He mentions I might have, you know what? I ain't say that in the, okay. Yeah, I ain't like here, like I wasn't in the beast. I was, it wasn't the beast. It wasn't even the beast. Oh, okay. Well, unlike that, this man is saying, I met with Joe Biden, deuces, several times. So let's see where they're
to discuss the broad contours of our business dealings.
You don't get a better witness than this. You don't get a better witness than this. So now my question, this is me thinking out loud. I'm trying to use common sense. If I'm a federal agency that is responsible for making sure foreign companies and countries does not infiltrate the U.S., subvert our republic, create corruption, all of that stuff. If I'm responsible for that, I should be a deputy dog. I should be able to say, yo, man, hold on. You got a witness that said he did this? You're telling me? Unlike them using George Papadopoulos, bumping into an Australian diplomat and having a conversation at dinner and saying, that's enough for us to launch a full-blown investigation into Trump's campaign. That was enough. But Bobulinski is not. Bobulinski's not. Because we ain't heard nothing come out of Christopher Wray yet about this.
Those are the words of Biden China business partner Tony Bobulinski in his transcribed interview before members of both political parties. Bobulinski stated the Chinese Communist Party, through its surrogate China Energy Company Limited, or CEFC, a CCP-linked Chinese energy conglomerate, successfully sought to infiltrate and compromise Joe Biden and the Obama-Biden White House.
Unreal. This burns me up, man. We got a traitor in the White House. I hate to say it, y'all. We got a Manchurian candidate in the White House. And I tell you, our government is so corrupt. It's sickening. Yeah, I laugh about it. I joke. But, man, it creates a nasty feeling on the inside. And to hear them come out and try to act like Russia is a threat and Putin's, I'm going, man, it seemed like, I don't know what Putin do. I'm sure he's evil. But, boy, it's hard to really focus on the evil abroad when we got a concentration of evil right here in our face. If I'm sitting here and I'm covered with blazes of fire right up in my face, and you say, hey, look out, there's a cigarette lit over there across the street. I'm going, you want me to pay attention to that cigarette? And I'm consumed with fire right here in front of my face. So this man right here was selling us out to China, him and his son. And now you see where that $1.5 billion deal bought Chi. They were sitting back, pimping these dudes out because they know the greatest way to destroy the United States is through greedy, stinking politicians who are willing to sell out the country for personal gain.
He tries to link Joe Biden and the president, but then provides no evidence.
His family's foreign influence.
These people don't care if the country falls. They don't care if China gets a one-up on us, a two-up on us. They don't care about that stuff. It's almost like they live in the moment. They only live for themselves. They don't even live for the future of their family. They don't think that America can be collapsed from the outside in. And it can't. It's from the inside out. And they're like, well, you know what, that might happen, but I'm going to take as much as I can take, get as much as I can get, and hope that somebody will come behind me and clean up my mess.
Peddling operation from China to Ukraine and elsewhere sold out to foreign actors who are seeking to gain influence and access to Joe Biden and the United States government.
He tries to link Joe Biden and the president, but then provides no evidence.
Let me just read this. Bobulinski says the process in which CEFC sought to infiltrate and compromise the Obama-Biden White House started in the fourth quarter of 2015.
Wow, detailed. This man's very detailed. The fourth quarter. Okay, what else?
Continued through when Joe Biden left office in January 2017 into March 2018, when Chairman Yi was detained for corruption in China, never to be seen again. One more thing. Bobulinski says since 2020, when he walked into the FBI's Washington field office.
Here it is. Here it is. I needed to get to this part before we close. We got 2 minutes, y'all. If my eyes are getting bad, I'm have to go to see the eye doctor. Boy, I'm like, what? I think that's a 2. But anyway, this is where I'm trying to get to, y'all. How corrupt our agencies are. How much they're in cahoots with evil politicians and globalists and all of that stuff. They are so corrupt. So my question the whole time, when Bobulinski did that interview with Tucker, my question was, where are the feds? That was my question. Same question I had when I found out that the feds had that laptop like a year prior to us finding out about it. I'm thinking, we're the feds. It's the same reaction I have when I find out that they allegedly have a recording of Joe Biden trying to negotiate a deal with a foreign actor in Ukraine, and yet they're acting like we can't let anybody hear that. They didn't even want to release the paper to show that, the document. They didn't want to release it. And I'm saying, that's odd. These things are odd to me. So y'all go after grandmothers. Y'all go after MAGA hat wearers. Y'all go after all these people. Y'all go after Trump on some bogus lies about Russia collusion. And yet we got beautiful witnesses right in front of us. You got recordings. You got all of this. So I have to conclude that you guys are just as evil and comparable as the folks who committed the crime. So not only do Joe need to be thrown in the slammer, but the people responsible for stopping something like what Joe did needs to be thrown in the slammer too. Not only should Hillary Clinton be thrown in the slammer, but so should Clapper, Obama, Biden, all of them needs to be thrown in the slammer, which concludes that they're all afraid that Trump's going to get in and go after his political enemies. There it is. It's all coming together now.
With phones containing encrypted messages between himself, Biden family members, and their associates. Remember, Bobulinski has had all of this evidence on phones. He has messages saying, don't mention Joe Biden's name in writing. All of this he has from other business associates like James Gilliar. Law enforcement never contacted him about this. Even as he prepared for today's testimony, it's not even David Weiss, who's been looking at Hunter Biden for years now, reached out to him.
So let me get this straight. We've been looking into Al Capone and all his businesses. Listen, I got some information about Pony. You know what I'm saying? Forget about it. Come, I'll tell you all about it. We don't want to talk to you. But I know where the bodies are buried. You know, he paid me to go and do it. I mean, I got all the notes and everything. I said we don't want to talk to you. Huh. Well, I'm the guy who does his taxes. I got all the ledgers. We don't want to look at that. Would that be a like law agency? Or would that be a corrupt agency?
Nobody wants to talk to Tony Bobulinski. Nobody? The media doesn't want to talk to him. The DOJ does not want to talk to this man. He doesn't really exist, in their world.
He tries to link Joe Biden and the president, but then provides no evidence.
But it's just amazing to me for people out there that don't believe that we live in some kind of, information.
Yeah, my mob exit. Yeah, it's a mix between a modern mobster and then an old one. The old mobsters, forget about it. I tell you what, we had Youngstown was the mob capital for a long time. Yeah, there was a guy, man, we used to go over and talk to him. I ain't gonna mention his name, you know what I'm saying? But he used to tell us, hey, Kevin, Robbie, sit down. Listen, let me tell you, it was me and it was Johnny the Ice Blade. Had names like that. Me and Johnny the Ice Blade and Bobby the Switchblade. And it was Tony the Axe Pick. I'm like, why all these people got nicknames that kill things? It was Joey the Machine Gun. Yeah, we go up to Cleveland, right? Yeah, this guy is up there stalking things. And, I said, hey, man, you know what? Let's go ahead and we pop this dude in the freaking head. And I'm sitting there, oh, shoot. Should we be listening to this? Yeah, they on the Capitoli stand. Me and my buddy, all right, we're leaving. You're not going anywhere. Go get these guys some cafeciolis and strudels, okay? Yeah, we have to sit there and listen to the mob stories. I'm like, I don't want to be drugged into court one day to have to testify. You shouldn't be telling us this stuff. And boy, they were vicious. That was the real mob. Boy, but these folks are more vicious than them. That's the sad part about it.
Matrix in this country, you do. Because this guy has been trying to get in front of everybody that he can for the last several years. He's been trying to get in front of Jake Tapper at CNN. Nobody will talk to him. The DOJ won't call him back. And he has, again, as you said, this is the most damning evidence we've seen. This is direct evidence of what I would consider to be treasonous behavior. I mean, you are working to the benefit of the Chinese Communist Party while you're the American vice president.
Absolutely. There's no question. This is the second witness under oath who has testified to this. We've demonstrated a pattern here. We've already demonstrated a pattern in Joe Biden lying. You mentioned earlier the FBI knew. Not only was this a bad day for Joe Biden, it was another bad day for the FBI. Yeah. My goal, Rob, at the end of this investigation is that everyone is held accountable for wrongdoing, not just the Bidens for the crimes they committed, but for every deep state government actor that was involved in the cover-up.
He tries to link Joe Biden and the president, but then provides no evidence.
Yeah, that guy's going to need a comfort dog when all of this evidence comes out. Did you hear that, Gizmo? You hear how stupid that man is? So let me understand, to sum it all up. You're telling me that all of that evidence out there, and the FBI didn't want to hear about it, the media don't want to hear about it, none of that. And then you got the Democrats making themselves look stupid and more corrupt than if that is possible by defending this. You got a perfect witness trying to tell everyone that the man they installed in the White House is a traitor to the country, and they're going blah, 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 I don't want to hear it. Democrat or Republican, if there was a witness out there that was able to expose that the president was a traitor to the country, not made up stuff, like they lied about Trump and said he colluded with Putin, with no evidence, none. But yet, they are overlooking this. I don't care if he was a Republican. I said, get him out of there. Get him out of there. I'd say, get him out of there. And think about this, guys. They have no phone calls between Trump and Putin. No text messages. Nothing. No witnesses saying, hey, I heard that Trump met with Putin. None of that. We just heard this man disclose text messages, witnesses. He's like, I'm a personal witness myself. I'm the one that met with this man twice. This is two witnesses that said this all took place. Two. They couldn't find one legitimate witness about Trump. Not one. Trump and dang on Russia. So they've been using that smear wrap up that Nasty Pelosi was mentioning. Hillary Clinton. And they're still trying to do it. Boy, there's some dirty people. So I hope they all get busted. I hope Trump has all of those top secret documents stashed somewhere. So when he gets back in the White House, day one, all right, I'm doing a press conference, open them all up. And like, this is what they did. So when y'all come out and start whining about, look, he's going after all his political enemies. Of course I am. Look at that. Look at that. And I got a good feeling they're all afraid of it by the way they reacted. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for kicking it with me tonight. I kept it under 2 hours. I kept it under 2. I thought I was going to keep it to an hour. Boy, I tell you what, though, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired, man. So, nonetheless, when I'm doing this show, I get my energy. Then right after, I'm like, woo, 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 woo. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Don't forget to hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. And make sure you still subscribe. And please text this number right here, MAGA to this number, 330-974-4607. Text MAGA to that number. And then let me think what else. Oh, yeah. If y'all want to bless me with my little fundraiser, there's a link below. You can do that. And then finally, let me think, what did I miss? Oh, Rumble, subscribe or follow me on Rumble and my alternative channel. That would be cool. Check out the merch store too. Don't forget that. Go shopping. Go ahead. Just like I got to go right on over to Walmart right now because I've been, check subscriptions. Thank you very much. So y'all, you know what, man? Y'all kind of know my checklist. I appreciate y'all. I really do. All right. So God bless. We'll see y'all tomorrow, Friday night, y'all. We'll wrap all of this mess up for the week. Oh, and I am going to be releasing some standalone video clips from these things. Yeah. See y'all tomorrow. Take care.